This is heavy. This is full of components, and yet this is confusingly not a board game as such. This is a tactical trading card game. Now, I did get to sit down and play this at PAX, so thank you very much to Games Lab, the company that's producing this. It was interesting. I think I need to play it a whole lot more, because it wasn't terrible, it wasn't bad, but I don't know if this can compete with things like Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Card Fight Vanguard. There is a lot of trading card games. Force of Will, Luck and Logic. I could spout these off for days. It's very hard for you, even especially in Australia, to compete with some of these other games. You will get a loyal fan base, absolutely. But whether you can compete on an international open stage is another thing. Now, here's the thing. This $100 3-player starter kit, I'm not kidding, there is 3 heroes, 3 decks, and a whole bunch of tokens and 12-sided dice in here. This thing is packed to the brim. Literally packed. Like, it cannot squeeze the box packed. Booster packs. Yep, I know. That's why it's a trading card game. No matter how you dress it up, it's still a trading card game. This could be a board game on its own. With a couple of refinements, this could definitely be its own standalone board game. Now, I did ask the creator a couple of questions about this. They wanted to be able to expand it, so they decided to make it a card game. There's a really awkward silence right now, because I think you could have still done this as a board game without having to try and make it a card game. Because you were competing in a very, very tight marketplace. A very crowded marketplace. But enough of that. We'll get to that at the end. First, let's crack open this monstrosity of a heavy box. And don't get me wrong, the art is beautiful. I don't mean monstrosity as in it looks ugly. I just mean this thing is massive and it's heavy and it's killing my arm right now. So let's get to opening this, and then maybe we'll come back and we'll have a bit of a chat about where the future might be for this game. We'll see you soon. Alright, so the first thing you're going to be asking me is, what exactly is Final War? Okay, so first up, we know it's a trading card game. I discussed that before. It's for 2 to 4 players. It's a tactical card game. Apparently it's set on a world called Glorin, a world ravaged by forces of light and darkness. Yeah, okay. So each player controls a warlord and 50 card player deck. And have a 50 card player deck that represents their forces, their units. There's a fate deck that moderates the play, and there is 12-sided dice that are used to determine success or failure throughout the game. So it's got its own little RPG system. Now, the one thing you will probably hear me constantly say is, why TCG, no TCG, don't TCG, just don't. Now, this company believes that they're going to be largely successful, and I really hope that they are, but I don't know. This is the thing, it's not a bad game, it's not a terrible game, it's quite a good game. The only problem I have is the fact that with this kind of game comes a certain expectation. The expectation is going to be from stores. What are your singles going to be worth if we open booster boxes, etc.? The expectation from fans / investors, people who want to play, who are opening those boosters, and what are those boosters worth to them? But this is the first mistake. I know what you're thinking. The reason here that this is a mistake is because this is about $100 worth of product as a starter. That's a pretty high barrier of entry, and you're asking a lot for somebody to go in to a game for this amount of money. It really is. This could have been done so much better as an LCG, in my opinion. And starting off with single player decks. Now, there is a good reason, even dual player decks really, but single player decks. So you've got single player decks that you won't get these boards and stuff. That's the problem, and I see why you've done the 3-player, but why not a 2-player gift set then? Probably because it seems that there's only 3 heroes at the moment, like character player heroes. Anyway, okay, so first thing we want to do is this is going to be everywhere because there is a lot to go through. Okay, so punch boards, all of your poison markers, your lycanthropy type tokens, your modifier tokens, and these of course are double-sided tokens as well. We'll just put that to the side for now, I guess. More tokens, and something that appears to be blank tokens. Yep. Okay, don't know why there's blank tokens. I guess we'll find out if they're blank tokens or if they're just blank tokens. But anyway, this is another board. These ones are attack tokens. From memory, these were first strike, normal strike, last strike. And of course, when you hit with your creature, you turn it over and it's expended. We have Ability Guide, which is exactly as you would expect from an RPG perspective. Got some artwork of some of the cards and stuff in there. It's pretty cool. Definitely set out to look like an RPG book. Then we have a rule book. For some reason, separately to the ability book. Okay, I don't understand that personally, but sure, whatever. That's fine. Maybe because they're going to recycle these books later on, but you would have to update the cards anyway, so yeah, I don't understand. Anyway, so here we have the rulebook, and again, looks very much like you would see in an RPG. Now, player boards. These are bifolds, or quadfold, whatever you want to call them. They're very, very, very big. I'm not going to be able to fit this whole thing in frame. There's just no way at all. But yes, this is why this pack costs so much. It's because you've got all these massive deluxe boards, and really, this is a deluxe box set. I think you could have done the same thing with some paper and gone for a non-deluxe. So there's a lot of confusing. There's 3 of these player boards to match 3 heroes. So there is a lot of confusing little bits and pieces here that I'm not really sure why they made the decisions they made. But that's more than I was expecting. I thought there was only 4 in here. 3. There's actually 4. That's even more confusing. Why didn't you just split it up into 2 boxes and then... whatever. See, this is why I always check under everything. And finally, it's paid off. The reason for me checking countless board games and their dividers has finally actually paid off. Because there was actually something in this one. I'm not going to be able to put this back together, am I? That's good enough. Okay. So what do we got here? We've got, thanks to the terrible werewolf deck, we have the, we do only have 3. So we've got the Fate deck. We have the Guildmaster, Shadrach the Unseen, which I believe is all about stealing items and effects or something. And then we got the Elves, which is the Shahas the Forest Lord. Shahas the Forest Lord. Sounds like a really bad song. So werewolves. What do werewolves do? Well, werewolves do lycanthropy. Let's bust this bad boy open. Now, something the designer probably should have thought of is this. So this whole thing is made for multiplayer, and that's fine. And I know the designer is looking on making some sort of like, if you ever played the World of Warcraft TCG, a raid deck type scenario thing, which would have been cool. And these could have had a secondary flip side to assist for that. Maybe have a raid side or something like that, but they don't. And that's fine, because this particular thing is aimed at this particular thing. Now, explanation quickly of the cards. You've got up here is your roll to hit, basically, or your power, represented in this game by PR instead of PWR. That's a really important thing to note, is that some of the things mentioned aren't as you would expect. This one is health. So here you can see that this Forest Lord has 3 health. And then you've got a whole bunch of little bits and pieces under here. And then you have all these different abilities that happen. So first strike means it gets to attack first. Now, attack twice doesn't mean attack twice. It means you roll 2 d12s instead of 1. I know how that sounds, and that's going to be a bit confusing to start off with, but again, I really do think you should pick up this game. Having played it at PAX, let me start the story actually first. And you'll see why in just a sec. So when I got to PAX, and I finally got to play this game, it was interesting. I think the comment that I made was exactly that this game was interesting. Not that it was terrible, not that it was something that I would never buy, but it was interesting. And there's a reason for that. This one's already open, so let's not open that one. Let's open this one. See, for me, and yes, these 4 packs feel a bit weird. This whole thing has been produced in Belgium, I believe, which means the cards feel slightly odd as well, but they are about the same standard size as a Magic card, I believe. Let's grab a Magic card. Don't even ask why I have these around. Yep. Magic card is just slightly ever so bigger, and you really wouldn't be able to pinpoint it unless you had a really good feel for this other stuff. Okay, so upon opening the first pack before playing the game, discard to block attack. That sounds pretty normal, right? Dark healing. As you can imagine, opening up one of these prior to playing the game, I was like, this looks really interesting. But then you get stuff like that. This won't make any sense at all unless you've played the game. That's a problem. Because people like me do go and buy a single booster and go, I'm going to have a look through and I'm going to see if this looks like something that I would buy. Gold, by the way, is, and you'll see this in my review once I do a review of it, but in the Fate deck there's roaming mercenaries. You can pay them off with gold. So if you've got a gold card in your hand, you can pay it and buy off the mercenary. We've got fortifications. This is a really good example, right? So, Forgotten Ruins, fortification, -2. The blue sounds like it should be defense, which it is. So, defense, bracket, -2. But, it says 2 penalty on ranged and melee against this column. Now, a column, it's because you got like 5 different columns. Doesn't matter, you've got a number of columns where you've got fortification down the bottom, in the middle you've got hero, and up the front you've got regular units. Now the thing here is that when you read this, you go, oh, okay, so it's up here, it's over here, but then it has this here as well. Sure. It's just,
I don't know. It's just one of those things where must be really picky or something, but to me, that could have been done so much better. And look at all this space. Well, all this delicious space that's not being used by anything, which could be used by flavor text. Why is the ruins forgotten? Why are they forgotten? Were they abandoned? Was it a mystery? Especially with this being an RPG game, they could have used some RPG stuff in there. Whereas, again, we get up here is the roll to hit and health. Now, if you roll a 1 when you roll to hit, it means you get to roll to crit. It doesn't automatically crit. Critical roll means that you have to roll again. Yes, you're already doing your 1 damage, but there's potential that you can outright kill a unit by rolling a 1 that I don't understand why you wanted to go for something so random. But anyway, let's get on with it. We're up to 13 minutes anyway, right? Dark Healer. Chaotic Wandering Healer. Okay, not sure. It's not part of the Fate deck or anything, I guess. Elixir of Charisma. Oh yeah, hey, so this is a thing. Watch these rarities. Uncommon, right? Uncommon. This one was obviously uncommon. But then we get to rare. Rare. Very rare. Yes. +1 PR. +1 PR. Just remember that is power, not PWR. Yeah. Oh, look, it's Lightning Bolt. Hit column for 1 EV damage plus paralyze. Element 2. No, I don't know what EV is. We'll figure that out later. Very rare again. Then we've got heroic. Acquires immunities. Fair enough. Spell sting. And then heroic. You're probably wondering why I just did that, because rare to me is 1 per pack. Heroic to me is, or very rare would be 1 in every 2 or 3 packs. Heroic would be 1 in every, say, 4 to 5 packs. There's a number of different rarities, which most of them aren't even mentioned on the packet anywhere. There was mentioned here somewhere. Yes. Okay, here we go. So heroic cards 1 in every 10 packs, that's fine. Legendary 1 in every 40 packs, that's fine. And Elder 1 in every 300 cards. Oh, sorry, cards. Cards, not packs. 1 in every 10 cards. How many cards in every booster pack? So heroics 1 per pack. So heroics basically a rare. And then a legendary 1 in every 40 packs. 1 in every 4 packs. But an elder is 1 in every 30 packs. Yeah. To me, that's not a great thing. I think that is something that needed to be changed, but has not been. So rarity, don't even think about rarity as a rare being an actual rare when it's not, because you're going to get 2 or 3 in every pack. Okay, so robbers, psychic shield. There we go. Potion of healing, full moon. What a surprise for werewolves. Werebats, dark bite, ring of might. Yeah, this is the one that I had the most fun with over the weekend, going what was PR when I opened that booster pack, because +2 PR instead of power or PWR. This enchanted ring increases the PR of its wearer by 2. That's great. Why didn't you just say power? There's plenty of space on that particular card. I just don't understand. There's just little bits and pieces here that, as a game designer, make me a little bit frustrated. Alright, so we're getting into rares and stuff, huh? So, cure, yeah. Can be dispelled, restricted healing, infiltrate, energy drain. What is it? Shadow Servants. Very rare. Woodland Cloak. Very rare. Heroic Armor. Instant Armor. Just add water. And an Acid Cloak, which is also heroic. Alright, well, basically, that's what the booster packs look like. We've seen what the inside of the game mostly looks like. Let's crack open one of these, shall we? Oh, yep. That was the thing that was going to happen. Pull tab, pull tab. At least they're putting pull tabs on. That's definitely doing something right. Because I think everyone knows how much I hate not having pull tabs. So we got gold cards, which makes me wonder why I got a gold card in my booster pack, but okay. Oh, that's why. Yeah, uncommon, very rare bag of holding. Now, who doesn't know about a bag of holding? I mean, even if you're a non-D&D player, you probably know about bag of holding. Baron Rosman, which is a hero. You got your Beast Shield, Bolster Army, Bribery, Burgle, Butcher, Cloak of Endurance, Druck Rima Salgan, Elixir of Charisma. Didn't we just open one of those? Enforcers, Forces, Evasion, Guild Healers, Guild House, burning down the house, Guild Mages, Guild Tower, Healing Spell, Hoodlums, Intercede, Intruders, Keepers of Secrets, Late Deployment, the Deflection, Magic Burglar's Tools, Magic Missiles, again another very D&D staple-ish sounding card. Master of Thieves. Montruk the Sneaky. Obstruction. Pickpocket. Potion of Invisibility. Precision. Raid. Reinforce. Ruffians. Safe House. Shockbolt. Spy, surprise attack, thieves everywhere. Thieves Den, thwart power, withstand damage, and Zur Karis the Shifty. Does say shifty, right? Yes, okay, good. Because, I'd hate to call him Zur Karis the Shitty. But it is a common card, so technically speaking. Ha! Sorry. You basically get 3 of these to call your own. And a Fate deck. You know what? Was that the Fate deck? That wasn't, was it? Did we just open the Fate deck? No, we didn't. Okay, cool. No, that wasn't the Fate deck. We don't need to worry about that. Oh, having a terrible moment today, aren't I? Okay. Last thing that we need to quickly go over is going to involve the player boards. Oh, they're much bigger than they looked at packs. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, hang on. They're a lot bigger than they are at PAX, so this is gonna have to require me just carrying said camera. Fortifications go down here. Fate deck goes across here. Your deck goes over here. And then up here are just units. Okay? Now, attacking or combat's not done straight up, you have to overturn a card from the Fate deck, and if it says that combat starts, then combat starts. Or maybe it'll say Final War, and then everyone has to go around in turns and kill each other, basically. Yeah. Look, this is actually quite a good game. It's not lame. Some of the wording and stuff when you first open a booster pack is very confusing and you have to get used to it. Play a couple of games first before you decide to buy any booster packs. I would suggest even if you go to your local card store, they have this or can get this. I would ask your local card store for a demo. Play with their demo copy a couple of times and see if you really like it. But I mean, look, the art is phenomenal. The art is brilliant. I really dig this art. I just really wish this was an LCG and not a trading card game. Just stop doing trading card games. Just don't do it. There's really good reasons not to do it, and that is investment, investment, investment. You're asking an investment out of me. You're asking an investment out of stores, out of players, out of even if you're going to run tournaments. I don't care. Just don't. You're not Magic the Gathering. You're not Pokemon. And I've seen so many of these happen. And then they just vanish because no one wants to buy their trading card game because it's on par with or more expensive than Magic the Gathering or something like that. And I don't want to see that happen to this game because this game was actually delightful to play for an RPG set game. Yeah. Final War. Check it out. That is my final thoughts. Definitely check it out. And remember, keep cracking packs.